Good day, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to study about Sicilian defense, can variation, and Sicilian defense Scheveningen variation. But first, I would like to ask you to spot the difference between these two games as is shown at diagram A and diagram B. Is there any difference? The reason why I present two games because I want you to study the difference between these two openings. As I found out that there are delayed moves from the game between Grandmaster Gadir Gusanov versus Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana at the 2019 Pro League KO stage. Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana is using the variation Sicilian can variation 6 move Bishop B4. Let's go now to the diagram A to study about the game between Grandmaster Anatoly Karpov and Grandmaster Kasparov. We start by playing E4. As we continue, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, cx d4, knight x d4, knight f6, knight c3, a6, bishop e2 is classical variation, e6 is the Scheveningen variation, castling, bishop e7, f4, castling, king h1 by way of bishop e3 to bishop g1, queen c7, which is the best place for the queen, a4 avoiding b5, knight c6, bishop e3 supporting the knight at d4, rook e8. This is the difference between the can variation because Scheveningen normally has this bishop f8 variation which has a defensive scheme to protect the king side. Now as we continue, bishop f3, rook b8, queen d2, bishop d7, knight b3, b6 as black knows that g4 is coming, bd7, g5, then knight d7, queen f2 as bishop f8 is already at the right square. Then bishop g2, which is the plan is queen h4, rook f3, then rook h3. Now bishop b7 as black completed its development. This is the correct way to play the Scheveningen defense, which is the favorite of world champion Garry Kasparov. So as we go back now to the diagram B, we go to move 1. So e4, c5, knight of c3, knight f3, a6, d4, cx d4, knight x d4, queen c7 is the can variation. g3 using the fianchetto defense, bishop d4 pinning the knight, then of course bishop d2. I don't know if this move that pins the knight is delaying move, but let us. Knight f6, bishop g2, castling, castling, bishop c5. This move is kind of directly attacking the knight at d4, but actually, do you think it helps white by playing knight b3? But though it leaves the post of the square d4, which is, annoying position for the black. So after knight b3, bishop e7, f4, d6, now g4. So after b5, g5, knight d7, a3, not allowing b4, bishop b7, bishop e3, knight c6, now queen h5. Completes the plan to attack h7. But if you check on this pawns f7 and e6 for black is kind of, for me, a suspect connection, because sooner f5 is coming and will break that chain. So as we continue, rook f e8, but there's a move actually g6. Let us continue. If queen h3, then if rook a e8, then f5 is good for white. So as we continue with g6, another variation, say like f5, then there's rook a e1. If you can see, the pawn at e6 is a bit weak. I still like white here. So we go back after rook f e8, trying to place the bishop at f8, which already delayed. Then f5, knight e5, asking for support. Then takes. Now knight d4, attacking the e6, which as you can see is really delayed development by black comparing to the Scandinavian variation. Bishop f8 developing, and then knight c5, which tries to protect the e6. But there are other moves such as g6. So let us see. Queen h3 attacking the e6 square, knight c5, then b4. So as we go back again to that variation, after rook f4, knight c5, doubling up, queen e6, now b4. It's lessening the protection of the e6 by attacking the pawn at the knight at c5, and then knight takes, pawn takes. Now there's a move, bishop h3, directly attacking that e6 pawn, which is a weakness. So the threat right now is rook takes bishop, then bishop takes e6, double check. Needs a protection from the knight, so it's knight g6, rook f7, attacking the queen, queen c8, knight takes. Now it's slowly trying to wreck black's position. So rook takes bishop, then king h8, bishop e6, queen e6, queen f3, trying to get back to attacking that file. Rook e8, trying to attack the pawn at e4 by the queen, but there's bishop d4, which is going to attack the g7. After e7 bishop, then bishop takes, king g7, queen f6, the winning move. So if takes, then it's a pin by the rook at b7. So king h6, pawn takes, knight takes, rook f7, which is now winning, and knight g6, rook takes pawn, king g5, rook pin, rook takes h4. Rook h4 is no good because there's rook takes knight. So as we go back there, as we go back to the original position check, then king f6, h5, knight e5, push pawn. Black can't do anything here now. So rook h8, rook takes check, king e6, then h7, queening. Then black resign. Now I suggest that after showing you two games, that study comparison between Scandinavian Sicilian and Sicilian Khan, which I saw bishop b4 looks like a delaying move. Now if you compare it with the game with the diagram one, which is more accurate, but it's up to you to consider if the diagram needs to be fixed and be playable again. So I thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for continuously supporting my YouTube channel, and God bless. Bye.